In London 2016, according to the Metropolitan Police, there are 225 different gangs that are operating across the city. And for the first time on television, some of the capital's most dangerous young street gangs take us into their unique world.
We're killers, bro. Get down or lay down.
It's a world of extreme intimidation with both random and organised acts of violence and even murder.
So if that means coming into your house with a gun, holding a gun to your child's head and saying to you, where is the fucking money, they will do it.
And is driven by the desperate need to make money.
I'm in country getting 2,200 a day.
And the drug economy that provides it.
£60 for the big bags.
I used to sell to a barrister. He was my favourite shot. He used to buy 2 grams of crack off of me.
The gangs are fearless and prepared to take on anyone.
So basically, I just took my Uzi out, stuck it out the window and just kept on squeezing.
Over 6 months, we were granted unprecedented access to the lives of street gangs. They invited us into their world on one condition, that they filmed themselves.
I was born for this, you get me? Big guns and everything, you see me? Mini sprayers. We get busy, niggas know. Check the crime rate, you get me? Check it. But we don't stab in it, we shoot niggas in it, you get me?
Everyone on my team has hit something, yeah? Everyone.
Fuck it, put it like that. This is the mini street sweeper, you get me?
Mini street sweeper. Back to back.
You get me? When man go on missions with these ones, I'll get low, innit? You get me? Man gets low. If you see a nigga go on one knee, just know it's no joke. You get me? Blow niggas, man. Blow niggas.
The Met Police state that there are over 3,000 young people involved in street gangs in London alone. It's a dangerous place where shootings, stabbings, and murder have become an unfortunate way of life. During the course of filming, contributors to this series have been sent to jail for knife possession, shot, and murdered.
I know 2 people that got shot last week. Like, if you touch one of my closest friends, then immediately I'm gonna react. Your friend gets shot down, you wanna shoot down the person. Same time, same day. It's as simple as that.
Street gang culture and the associated violence is driven by the illegal activity of drug dealing and robbery.
You can't trust the people out there on the roads, and someone's trying to take what you made, you're gonna retaliate. It is all due to gang violence.
It's a lawless world where some gang members are out of control and at war. A war that is played out across the capital from its inner city estates to its affluent suburbs.
It's closest than anybody realizes. It's just because you think you live in a nice area or just because you don't see it when you look out your window. No, love, you're just looking out the wrong window.
It's a cycle of extreme violence where guns and knives are used to injure and kill.
I don't think there's violence that I haven't seen before. I've seen people stabbed up, seen people die.
Despite the huge risks, many young people see gang life as a way to get rich quick. Some are enticed by the excitement and high-octane lifestyle it can provide, while others simply wish to escape poverty.
It was me and my gang of youths running around, just getting money. You're either ready to die or you're ready to go jail. Whoever survives, survives. There's gangs everywhere, like even in places you wouldn't even think. It's everywhere, man. There's white gangs, there's black gangs, there's all different kind of base gangs.
In 2012, at just 18, Geordie became one of the leading drug dealers in South London as a member of the Woolwich Boys gang.
I always wanted to be like a gangbanger because I was bad in all my schools, so I wanted to be someone anyway. I wanted to be like one of the boys in my hoods that had respect when they come into the block and walk out of the block.
Geordie's gang activities have left him facing serious charges. He's currently facing prosecution for possession and intent to supply crack cocaine and heroin. He could face a jail term of up to 6 years.
Living around there is kind of a struggle. Well, it was a struggle, innit? It's a sad lifestyle around there because no one's got anything around there. I've seen a load of violence. I've seen gunshots. When I was here, it was the Gaza. Feds running up on here all the time, people getting smacked up, stabbings, whatever was going on around there, it was the Gaza. So you can imagine, being brought around there, you ain't really got no hope, man.
Geordie first started selling drugs for the gang aged just 13.
My gang was formed because it was right outside my doorstep, and that was my family, that was my brethren. I'm seeing new shoes, I'm seeing new bikes, I'm seeing new everything. I'm seeing the people pull up over there, the olders, getting the youngers in the cars, and I'm thinking, yeah, I like all this, you understand? And when children start seeing things like this, they think that it's normal, so they can do all these sort of things. So, shotting at 13, swear down round here is normal. So from chilling, smoking, it gets to doing robberies, to going shot. That's how it goes. So it's right outside your doorstep, you can't do nothing about it. Just a bunch of hungry kids trying to survive. So just trying to make a living, trying to eat, trying to get the basics, trying to get the normal things what normal people get that we couldn't get. So that forms the gang. Obviously, from young, I was literally posted outside my ass like this. This is where things used to go down. But now we're going upstairs. It's a stash in here, but it's locked. It's locked now. You can see anyone that's coming. Jump on the roof if police come, normal. I was functioning like, yo, I just turned into a monster them times. My mom couldn't handle me. I got kicked out of every single school that I've been to. Don't even think I learned anything from any school. I think I just learned the roads. That's how I survived. I think I was actually 14 when I got nicked with intent to supply, and I got sentenced at 15.
After going to prison for supplying Class A drugs, Geordie's mum sent him away to Paris to live with his dad. However, this new life on the continent would only serve to fuel his gang ambitions.
Voilà, c'est nous, on fait la loi. Yeah. Celui qui vient, on le shoot.
Prepared for confrontational images of violence, crime, drug trafficking, including bodily secretion of drugs, and highly offensive language throughout. Some viewers may be extremely distressed by the real-life content and adult themes. Geordie grew up in London, selling drugs for the local gang, the Woolwich Boys. After going to prison for selling crack and heroin at 15, his mum sent him to Paris to live with his dad. But this is where Geordie gained the insight that would draw him even further into gang life. Whenever Geordie is in Paris, he drops in on his old friends and cousin, who now runs a gang in the tough suburbs of Paris where Geordie grew up.
Bandona bando!
So right now we're going to my cousin's block. Obviously me, like I said, I'll come out of that bullshit. But it's always good to go show your cousins love and that, show your family love. We're in the block, we're in the bando. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah.
The block in Cachan, on the outskirts of Paris, is a regular spot that the gang sell their drugs from.
Yes, there's weed, ash as well. Obviously over there they smoke a bit of ash as well.
Ça, 60 euros, Jimmy.
£60 for the big bags, 20 bags for the small bags, £30.
C'est 10, 10.
There's 10 there as well, little 10 there.
Good shit.
Yeah, get me.
His cousin AK explains how he started running his gang.
Moi, ici, ça c'est mon bloc. Hein? Tout ça c'est à moi, à mes amis. Point de chute, là, ici, drogue, shit, marijuana, zeb, en bas, cocaïne, héroïne. Moi je suis arrivé ici, j'avais 8 ans. 8 ans, je suis arrivé ici, j'ai déjà trouvé des gens. C'est-à-dire moi j'ai trouvé des gens ici sur place. Ils m'ont accueilli, ils m'ont ouvert les bras. Ils m'ont venir avec eux, ils m'ont appris.
Show them love,
voilà, on va faire ça, c'est comme ça, c'est comme ça.
In Paris, a gang will control the selling of drugs across an entire housing estate. In London, there can be more than one gang operating from an estate. In an undisclosed location in London, a gang films their active drug operations as they take delivery of a consignment of cocaine. It's one of London's most popular drugs, and this kilo is worth an estimated £55,000. Once broken down though, it can be sold on for over 4 times as much. Depending on its purity, these individual wraps will cost the user anywhere between £30 and £150 per gram. The gang sell harder drugs like crack cocaine, with the crack on the scales holding a street value of over £12,000. Another lucrative drug they sell is heroin. Dealing in hard drugs means gangs have to constantly protect themselves. Back in Paris, Jordy's cousin explains how it works there.
Quand tu grandis, tu veux t'acheter un Glock, tu vois? Tu es obligé de t'acheter ton arme pour te défendre. Parce que personne, tu protèges ta famille, ton argent. Ça, c'est comment c'est ma protection.
Yeah, obviously, everyone knows it is.
Every day, tous les jours.
Everyday protection, obviously.
Comme ça, si quelqu'un vient ici,
no one can't come in. No one can't come to my cousin's block. That's what he's saying to me.
S'il vient, shoot.
Yeah, it's just
direct.
Lights off. That's what it is.
Ok. Voilà, c'est nous, on fait la loi.
Yeah. I mean,
but for AK, his love of gang culture is motivated by more than just the glamour of drugs and weapons.
Nous, banlieue, après 23h, commerce, c'est fini. Les transports, c'est fini. On est bloqué entre nous. Donc on est obligé de faire du commerce. Voilà, illicite. Comme ça, on peut manger un peu. Parce que quand on monte sur Paris, c'est cher, la vie elle est chère. Donc tu deals, tu voles, tu braques. Mais c'est comme ça, c'est comme ça. Même si nos mamans ils pleurent, tout ça, on ramène à manger. C'est comme ça, comme des garçons, des hommes.
There's no choice, is it?
En France, il n'y a pas le choix. Parce que nous, c'est la mort tous les jours. Tous les jours.
Paris gave Jordy the operational know-how that shaped his gang ambitions in London.
Coming back from Paris, I got very inspired by that.
They were doing it so neat and organised. So when I came back to London, the attraction was money. I knew I was going to be a bad man. I knew I was going to have cars, bitches, Gucci, Louis, everything. I knew it. This is my vision, like, of being a gang. This is what I wanted it to be.
Two street gang members agreed to meet us to share what motivated them to join up.
As you're growing up, you're seeing what other people have around you. And your eyes start to get big, and then it's like, you want to live that life. And one of the main reasons people join gangs is the money, like the lifestyle that gangs live in. I think I joined the gang when I was 11. And now it's all because they looked cool to me. Like, obviously, like, you have to build your name up in it. And I just moved there. I knew nobody. By attaching myself to these group of kids that I thought were cool and all that stuff, it was a perfect way for me to become a somebody.
For Jordy to become a somebody, he had to move away from London's crowded drug markets and set up further afield.
My country was Hampshire, innit? I turned over Hampshire nicely. How I started out my thing was going to a spot where I heard doing numbers, and I just looked for customers up there. As soon as I see a customer, yo, let me get into your house. They let me into their house, give them a tester. Rah, this is good food, mate. Says, yeah, it's a good food. Tell your friends it's good food as well. So from every customer, they would give me 5 numbers. And that's how you start an authentic phone up. That's how I started an authentic phone up.
Jordy operated as far afield as Hampshire. Gangs now match their supply to wherever the demand exists.
I don't think it's just us being corrupt. Like, I used to sell to a barrister. It's a regular customer. I was one of my good customers. I liked him. I'm pretty sure he's locked a couple of people away for selling drugs. But still, I'm selling to this guy, these doctors. It's ridiculous.
Bonnie and Clyde run a crack production operation from an affluent area in the capital. They not only retail to customers, but also supply to local gangs in their area.
I was classed as a gang because the operation that I was running was a drug dealing gang, and they said all these youths that's selling drugs with me were organised, and so they classed us as a gang.
A common story. Clyde started out dealing drugs to his friends.
You start out selling weed, turn out now you're selling weed because your friends all smoke weed. You know, you gotta get more money. Start selling something else, like a bit of MD. Start whipping up coke, selling heroin as well.
Certain people are better than others, innit? All you gotta do is pick up a bit of hard food and then boom, go find your shots, innit? The same as any marketing or anything.
It is a business. What we do is a business. You're flipping crack and heroin. You're making money off two different things. Money can be made, a lot of money can be made.
Once Geordie established his customer base, he was determined to set to work to meet their expectations.
I'm bagging up all night. I'll be bagging up raps and 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 raps.
With the effort he put into the life, success was soon to come Geordie's way.
People were begging to come work for me. They knew what I was on. It wasn't a joke thing. 22 bills a day. I'm giving the person 5 bills a week. That's what I was on. Getting people to take $2,000, come back. I'm getting someone to go to another spot, $2,000, come back. I wasn't that guy that had one little block. Like some people start talking after they have one little block. I had three blocks. And then that's when I met my girlfriend, Alicia.
When I met Geordie, I was kind of blown away by what he had, the money that he had. Like the clothes that he had were like all name brand clothes. I'm talking about Louis Vuitton this, Louis Vuitton that, Gucci this, Gucci that. They were luxury clothing, and this guy was wearing them on a daily basis like they were nothing. And I was just like, wow, this guy has kind of got a lot of cash. And you know, don't just fall in love with that person, you kind of fall in love with the lifestyle as well. And then he approaches you, oh, can you get involved? Can you do this for me? Or can you do that for me? And then you're thinking about it, and you think, oh, why not? He's done all this for me. Or you just think like, why not? Why shouldn't I really help? We're not always victims. Women are not always victims. Same way that there is a different level for guys, there's different levels to us. So you have what you most probably hear about all the time, women get abused, they get passed around, stuff like that. They're the kind of bottom of the pile. A lot of the guys that will have sex with them and just basically do what they want with them, treat them like shit. And then you got the next kind of level, which is the sometime-ish girlfriend, the girl that they go back to when they want a bit of loving or things like that. All the money really wouldn't be spent on her. She'll probably get a Nando's here and there. That's about it. When you go up to the full-time girlfriend, they would know the business and be involved. And then you got the next one up, which is like the wifey, the one that doesn't see anything. She knows what her guy does. She knows full well what he does, but she doesn't get involved.
An East London gang that is part of this lucrative trade filmed as one of their crack dealers prepared drugs for sale. He begins by chopping crack into individual rocks that are sold for £20 each. He makes a parcel containing £1,000 worth of crack, often referred to as a G-pack. He uses a condom to house his parcel. It's not unusual to carry a number of these drug packages at one time, though the risk involved is huge.
I had to do things, innit, to keep my freedom. And it had to be done, so I done it. So I had to put things up my arse. I had to plug things up my arse. Doing trips on the motorway. Doing probably 3 trips, plugging drugs. Like at least 3-4 G-packs. Like 1 G-pack, 2 G-pack, 3 G-packs, 4 G-packs.
A gang supplier films the extreme measures he goes to in order to hide his valuable stash from the police and his enemies.
We had to go to like nasty extents where customers are ringing every minute, every time. We're unplugging, plugging, unplugging, plugging, unplugging. And more times when we're unplugging, there's shit there. So literally we're just scraping the shit off the parcels, untaking it, literally unhygienic, like mad. Serving, plugging it again, taking it back out. It was a serious organisation, had to come with serious risk and nasty, nasty things. It's like signing a deal with a devil that, yeah, lose your dignity, lose your name, but I'll give you money at the end of it. That's the extent we had to go to keep a business running, and that's how determined we was.
Geordie was making just over £2,000 a day and at the top of his game.
I'm telling you, everything got achieved. The cars got achieved, the bitches got achieved. I had everything you could want. I'm talking penthouses, Range Rovers, black, the white one, Mercs. I wasn't even driving, that's how bad it is. I was getting them out for people to drive me in them. I was a spender. I was getting in parties, popping bottles, models, doing crazy shit. I was getting holidays at Ibiza, Spain, Barcelona. I'm talking every single brand name, Giuseppe's, Balenciagas, Gucci, Louis, all of that. I had all of that, I'd done that. I never had that as a young. How could you be humble? How could you be humble when you come from nothing? It felt amazing, man. I was living like a footballer. Because I thought I was gonna get 2,200 every day until I die. That's how you actually think. That's what the people do it for.
Undeniably, the allure of fast money is irresistible to many.
You know, you do fall in love with the money. By the time people are going to work in the morning, and I've made your week wage in a day, profit. So you're gonna want to do that for the rest of the month, for the rest of the year.
A lot of gangs make a lot of money. It's attraction, having nice shoes. You feel me? Having a top Louis Vuitton belt, looking the part, walking down the road looking like the big person. That's what it is when you're in that time when you feel like nobody can touch you.
As the money came rolling in for Geordie and his gang, he and Alicia got a taste of the big league.
In gang culture, guys at the top of the blocks and stuff like that, it is very much like the football culture. You know when you get the wags, the footballers' wives and stuff like that? Very much like that. Everybody used to know us in the raves. When we walked in, everybody knew us. We used to be really well dressed. We used to be coordinating most of the time. It brings respect from people.
Yeah, man, I love that lifestyle, man. I thought it'd never end. Man. I thought I was gonna be like this forever and ever and ever.
The drug economy is key to the young street gangs operating across London. But their enterprise and endeavour count for little without the genuine means to protect themselves and intimidate others. This is a world where young gangs are robbing each other for drugs and money at gunpoint. And the weapons are fueling a seemingly never-ending cycle of violence.
We're killers, man. You see me?
Get down or lay down.
We got things in it. These are nothing. These are just the mini street shooters.
Get down. Your life, you get me every day. This is life. This is life. Man, blow off your head, cuz. I'm not saying about.
We're a family, innit? You get me?
These are our kids.
You get me, fam? Man's family, innit? You get me? Uncle, these are twins, innit? You get me? Two black twins, innit? You get me? My man, this one. The same ugly Betty.
Ugly Betty.
Ugly Betty.
Not Betty.
Ugly Betty.
Always on the head.
For those involved in the culture, age often determines what weapons are used.
You see, you got the little niggas that growing up, they'll play with nice, but me, when I started snapping, I never went back in it. When I bust my thing once, I just kept busting. It's like when you start smoking, you don't stop in it. You get me? I can't stop. You get me? My trigger fingers got chicken pox, bro. It's mad.
Itching.
Jumpy. You see me?
The resulting gang violence has left its mark on local communities.
I've known violence all my life, basically, as far back as I can remember.
Brixton was a no-go zone. Basically, this is the front line, innit? This is where everything happened, innit?
Quincy entered the gang world at the age of just 13. As he established his gang career, he gained a reputation for violence.
The gang I was in was called the 28s, and basically we were based in Brixton. It was like a set of friends that kind of turned into brothers that really never had no one apart from each other, because most of us are probably homeless or just living on the streets.
We got the kind of never say die, protect our area from other area kind of attitude. Used to stick together, fight together, and represent Brixton, and made Brixton kind of a fearful place. And that's why Brixton was kind of no-go zone for nearly every gang that existed at the time. I got more serious with it, more fighting. I'll be the first to fight. No, don't worry, I'll sort him out, bang. And that's how I got my kind of name for myself. My name was based off kind of knocking people out.
Violence was very key in me growing up around my area within my gang, because without the violence, I wasn't Quincy. Do you know what I mean? I was just a normal kid. But with the violence, I became somebody.
As Quincy and the 28s got older, their crimes and behavior became more serious.
This is where we kind of changed. We kind of got worse. We started to smoke crack. And we started to just rob nearly everyone in the local area. We used to take mobiles, watch people coming out the bank, rob them. But you're still smoking at least £600-700 of crack every night. We buy more crack, our habits are getting stronger and stronger. And then round here, hasn't even got enough money for us no more. So we're venturing out and starting to rob banks and stuff. But the crack obviously made us more braver to obtain that bigger money and bigger lifestyle.
I became respected, I became feared. And so my violence kept me at the top of my circle, my peers.
Today, street gangs are still reckless, now specializing in robbing cash-rich drug dealers and other gangs. Crack suppliers Bonnie and Clyde discuss the violence that underpins their world.
Ain't no one gonna fucks with me because they know that I'll shoot you, but I'll stab you if you come around and you try anything, because I don't want nothing to jeopardize my money. That's just the way it is. There's no rules, but you gotta know how to play the game.
Things become more dangerous when supplying drugs to rival gangs.
One gang will have better food and the other gang won't. So a lot of time that we'll buy food off one gang and then sell it to another gang.
Or you don't want to get caught just selling to both sides. But I've got to make my money somehow. I don't care who I'm selling to. These people may be beefing each other, but I still sell to both of them.
In this environment, the violence becomes the norm and leads to revenge.
I hear about stabbings like it's normal. It's a cycle. I can't really stop because one person from one side has killed someone from the other side. And you are not just going to forgive someone for that. You're going to go for them. Just draw blood from the person. That's what you want to see, and it's going to carry on because now you've done that, someone's going to die. Someone's going to get shot. It's just going to happen. You can't trust people out there on the roads. And someone's trying to take what you made, you're going to retaliate.
The proliferation of guns has upped the stakes dramatically.
But if you're a pagan, if you're an up boy, wear your vest, shank-proof, bulletproof, innit?
We've long gone past, stabbing someone now. Now we're straight shooting people. Like, I know 2 people that got shot last week. Whereas before, knives used to be like the easiest things to get. That's what guns are nowadays. Guns are like as easy as getting candy. Like, all it takes is one phone call to get a gun nowadays, and a gun's an easier way to sort out the situation. Your friend gets shot down, you want to shoot down the person. Same time, same day. It's as simple as that.
The playing out of disputes known as beefs drive much of the violence.
Beef is something that changes your life. When I go left, am I gonna die? Am I gonna go right? Am I gonna die? You don't know. because you're not safe. See, when you're with your gang, that's cool. But you see, when you leave them, you have to go home. Now, are they gonna be waiting outside your house?
One of the most dramatic shootouts on a London street was a result of a beef Quincy had with one of his rivals.
Police have arrested 2 men in connection with a shooting outside a Croydon nightclub. The 2 men were arrested...
In 2001, me and my friend Bugsy, we was on a motorbike looking for people that we had confrontation with over the past, month or so. And because my friend lived on this road, he had a car here on this road. So we thought, yeah, park up the bike, get in the car. As he stepped out the car, all I heard was gunshots, like, pa, 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 pa. So I looked into my little ring mirror. I saw 2 people in Bally's creeping up to my window with guns. So basically, I just took my Uzi out, stuck it out the window, and just kept on squeezing. Looked out my ring mirror, and I saw that they was running. So I jumped out the car, started chasing them. But obviously, I'm not no firearm specialist, innit? So I'm just like, movie stuff. I'm just like, brrr, and you can hear all the cars going, ting, 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 ting. And then, obviously, they're running, and they're hiding behind cars now. But then I saw an old man and a little girl, and they was like cowering beside, the cars and that, innit? So what I done is I just went in the air like that, yeah? And when I went like that now, obviously they stopped, and I told the old man and the little girl to come across the street, innit? And they come across and I conveyed them across the street, innit? So obviously after I done that, I was furious, I phoned my friends, everyone got armed up, dressed up, bulletproof vests, the whole lot, you know what I mean? Marilyn Manson mask, the full works. We just went straight down to Croydon Pearly Way.
Quincy and his gang headed for a known and popular nightclub in the area, where he knew his enemies would be.
I saw them all around him and I just went, brrr, sprayed them all. And obviously people got hit in their legs and that, and everyone scarpered. I got him, jumped back in the car, and we drove off in it. There's around 10, 15 police cars behind us. I said, boy, do you reckon we should start shooting? And everyone said, no, you can't do that, you can't do that. So I said, how are we getting away? Because the amount of blue that I could see, my clothes was blue in the car. That's how much sirens was around us, do you know what I mean? So I just took the Uzi, I didn't even listen. I just pulled it out the window, I was like, brrr, until it finished. Brrr, took my friend's gun, bap, 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 took my other friend's gun, bap, 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 bap.
Officers who gave chase were also fired at by a gunman in a car. The 2 men were arrested in West London yesterday after armed officers fired plastic bullets at their car, forcing it to stop.
And then obviously I went court, I got 14 years. This bro changed my life basically, you know what I mean?
There's definitely more access to guns nowadays, I think, than it was before. Because Eastern European blocks, they're smuggling guns, they're posting things over. People usually have to get these firearms to protect their business and just carry on disputes, basically. Sometimes the dispute is so serious that you have to keep carrying a firearm, no matter what.
That's what we live. You get me? Live, no joke.
Mothers,
you get me? No joke. Big clips, you see me? And we always save one for the feds. Always save one in the head for the feds. Always gotta save one for the feds. Always remember, you gotta save one for the feds. You never know. You see me?
Gangs are willing to go to extreme lengths to protect their fellow members.
We're all brothers, you feel me? None of us think we're better than each other. We all got each other, you get me? Man's down, man's made for this shit. It's in us. It's not leaving, none of us got it.
See, one phone call. Once man get that phone call, we don't need to hear who's there, what's happening. Come. That's all we need to hear. Come. Get me? Rise them up and come. You see me? We're there, innit? All of us.
No stalling.
We come, innit? You see me? We come, we do what we got to do with, innit? You feel me? The ending of it is so either you're dead, you get me, or...
War.
You get me? I don't play games, innit? You see me? I'm kill niggas, innit? I'm drop niggas, you see me? Obviously, no one has to be in jail. Me personally, if I kill like 5 of my niggas, if I kill 5 niggas that I don't like right now, I'll go and lie down nice, I'll sleep. But we smart, innit? We get busy on bikes, fuck cars, innit? We don't go on cars. We use bikes only, bare bikes. So the man just wrap it round, go up, you get me? Man's leg onto the rider, and just get wait, you get me? Busy with it.
Busy with it.
I don't play no games,
Live
you
machine.
get me?
So you don't really want someone to fuck with your shit. You know, it's not in the plan. The plan is to flip and flip, make some more money. It's not like You got paperwork for everything and everything is definitely going to run smoothly and you got insurance for everything. Your strap is your insurance. You know, you keep protected. You know, you got a knife, the youngie's got knives. Keep protected. You know, you got to ensure yourself that you're going to be safe.
Me, I'm quite small, so it's difficult. Definitely when I'm busting shots and that, 'cause a lot of people think they can take advantage. When someone takes your food, that's your money, but then you got to make a decision whether or not you're going to stab this person. Because normally the time they're bigger than me, so it's not a lot that I can do. I know that, so you get me, the most I can do is stab them, and even if I stab them, they wouldn't take them down, you feel me? They could still hurt me, they could still take the knife and kill me, innit?
It wasn't long before violence entered Geordie's world, and he started facing serious problems with his operation in Hampshire.
All new shotters were like coming to my country, to my country spot, and they were just like taking over. Then it all started getting out of hand. I started seeing London niggas in my spot, and I'm thinking, what's going on? This is supposed to be Hampshire. I started seeing niggas walking around doing their thing as well. So I didn't really like that. They never really liked that. So things used to like get popping, get cracking. After that, I started getting into beef people when I had older, grown men plotting on me to rob me. And that's when I started seeing things changing. I'm a 20-year-old boy, I'm a 19-year-old boy. I've got these 29-year-olds on me, 30-year-olds on me that are known for big straps and they're trying to hunt man down. I didn't know about all these robbers and you can't let everyone know your thing, and then police getting involved, and that's when things went downhill, innit?
Being involved as a woman, you're basically dealt with the same reputation as your partner. So if they wanted to do something, they couldn't get their hands on him, you would be the next port of call. So if that means coming into your house with a gun, holding a gun to your child's head and saying to you, where is the fucking money? They will do it. Or police are bashing down your door and coming to arrest you when your kids are scared. And it makes you step back and think like, why am I in this life? Because I can tell you for a fact, all the holidays, all the cars, all the money, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. You can never live a peaceful life when you're in a gang life, when you're in what they call a road life, which is gang culture, drugs, money, all that kind of thing. When you're in that, it's just stress. Just stress.
Geordie was making a fortune with his drug gang selling crack and heroin in Hampshire, but that came to an end when he was finally arrested. Now he's set to appear in court on charges of possession and intent to supply, 6 grams of crack cocaine and 10 grams of heroin.
Obviously, I'm getting caught for hearing with intent to supply Class A. Do I reckon I'm gonna go down? No, I don't think I'm gonna go down, no. There's no evidence on me. So I just feel like it's a waste of my time. They can't make an example of me. They should leave me alone. If I was to go down, that would be surprising.
Although confident he will beat the system, he knows he had taken his eye off the ball with his gang and drug business.
I started getting lazy in that when the money started coming in. I was getting raving, popping bottles and that. So I wasn't as serious as I was because the people that were working for me started saying, right, this guy's serious, this guy's raving and that. I'm ringing his phone for the re-up. He's in a rave. Do you understand? I've seen jealousy and I've witnessed jealousy. See my own brothers hate on me. See my own gang hate on me. If you got more money than them, they don't like it, do you understand? When you're in that lifestyle, people don't want to see you do good. Like, it's like everyone for yourself until you get to the top. I started owing people money. Like, I was taking food off of them. And every time I was bagging it up, trying to shot it, it just wasn't working no more. I'll lose my man's money. Then I'll go get food off another person, I'll lose that money. So it was just like a cycle, it was just getting long.
Splashing the cash not only brought Geordie unwanted attention from his rivals, but also made him a target for the police.
Feds, they knew me, man. My name was banging on the road. Like, I turned feds. and they're communicating with feds in the city. Like, you know they're surveilling, you're still out there, you got no choice because you're so used to that lifestyle and you still got to get it. You got all these police officers on you, and you got your enemies on you. One of them's got to take you at the end of the day. And yeah, man, I got arrested with intent to supply Class A.
The court appearance is over, and the case against Geordie has taken an unexpected turn.
Okay.
They got more evidence on me. They're saying they got their fingerprints on the phone, and fingerprints on the package, on the food. They found more evidence on my case, innit? I'm sure I'm gonna bust it. I'm gonna bust it. But yeah, man, it's not looking healthy, innit? Trying to threaten me that I'm possibly looking at 2 to 4 years and all that. I don't want to be hearing that. Do you understand that? What's that?
The case against Geordie is much more serious than he realized. He will now face trial at Crown Court and face the possibility of a long sentence. Jail and violence are a constant threat, and many know they are living on borrowed time.
I'm not trying to be out here to be gang for the rest of my life. You know, it gets deeper as long as I stay in this and then end up getting shot. You know, I've been stabbed a few times. I ain't trying to get shot, I'll be honest with you. You know, we're trying to get the money to get out. I ain't trying to chill here.
Being a girl in this situation, you can't really do it. Like, how can I expect to grow up and settle down and have a child and have all this around me? I don't like this. I don't like sleeping and thinking that my door's gonna go through every night. Once you're in it, it's also hard to get back out. Once you're known for something, you can't just turn it off.
Like, you never know, like, who's plotting against you. And you never know when you're gonna get caught. Like, you never know when it's your time. And so I really and truly, I am scared. Like, I don't want to be that person on the news, 10 o'clock news. I don't want it to be my face. Every day of my life, I do fear for it. Like, every day I leave the front door, I do fear for it.
This extreme violence is a way of life for gangs, but many young people are still prepared to take huge risks in the constant pursuit of money and a better way of life.
Obviously we're out here, you get me? It's not just a bad man thing, man's trying to get this money too, you get me? There's no opportunities for the youth them, so they get caught up, you get me? By the time they get caught up, it's too late. Man's trying to build youth clubs, I'm trying to do little camping trips for the youth, trying to give the youth them a better way. We stack our peas, you get me? We're trying to build businesses, you get me? We're trying to invest. We're not just trying to be out here, you get me? 24/7 for the rest of our lives. We're trying to get our families out of the hood. Get me? Like, the government don't care about us. Them man's trying to, get me, take care of our neighborhood. Get me? Make opportunities out there for people that are trying to better themselves, you get me? Get me? And if the government ain't gonna do it, then we gotta do it. And if it means getting busy, taking from our next man to feed our fam, it's gonna be done. Straight up.